Hey, you going? Welcome back to Unconquered Training, Volume 21. We've got Big J in the house.
Hey!
Again,
Hi,
he
everybody.
says nothing.
Oh!
You said nothing. Yeah, hang on, have a look. Look, mine's just about better than his. Have you trimmed yours?
Never will be.
You trimmed yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go.
Looking
Watch
very
this
cute
space.
today, sausage.
Look, I'm staying true. Haven't shaved this thing off yet. I'm kind of regretting that whole I'm not going to shave until this corona thing's over. I literally could be down here somewhere going on the current situation with what they're telling us at the moment. But hey, never mind.
And social distancing is applying.
WOD 21. We're looking at a workout called Short and Heavy. It's actually a CrossFit.com workout from today. I like the look of it. It was 21 thrusters, 15 thrusters, 9 thrusters with 400 meter runs in between. So we'll find a space outside that you know is a 400 meter distance and utilize that. Or you can jump on a bike. If you're going to go on, if you're lucky enough to pick up one of our air bikes, I think 5 people have got them. You're probably looking at tripling that number. So 1200 meters would be the equivalent to get through that sort of stuff on the air bike. If you're on one of the rowers, you're probably looking at let's double it. So let's go 800 on the rower if we're going to utilize that. If you can't run for any reason, but you can still get outside, maybe do it as a farmer's carry. Take a couple of heavy implements with you and walk down the street and back. Don't worry, Everybody looks weird these days. No public displays of exercise are frowned upon anymore. So happy days. We'll start with our joint circles. So running through those 6 joints as we normally do. Again, make sure that takes a good 5 to 7 minutes to get through. Those things should feel feeling like they're sliding and gliding. Is that Dan Lisp again? It keeps popping up. And then we're going to run into 3 rounds of a banded pull aparts with our palm up, palm down. Then a banded thruster to get some squats and some thrusters happening. And then a plank with some shoulder taps.
Ooh.
From there, we're going to take a break. We're going to go into a dead bug where you're going to choose your movements. You guys can utilize, if you're with Richie in the Zoom classes, he'll run you through the movements and talk you through that sort of stuff. So again, palm up, palm down. Again, I know I keep telling you guys about that, but I'll tell you about it when you're in class as well, and people still do it like this. So anyway, burn! That was a burn, by the way. So I'm just out here, shoulder width, a little bit of tension on those bands. Pull my shoulders back and down, come to that, again, that nipple line.
He's very
Who,
photogenic.
Jay would be down here. Nipple
Yeah,
line.
that's it. That's my nipple line.
Palm up, obviously turn those hands around. Palm up. Or up here.
Yeah.
No. It's only when it's cold.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And it's not very cold at the moment.
Palm up, palm down, banded thruster. If you have a lightweight band, happy days, you can get a fairly chunky band for a banded thruster. Something like what Jay's about to pick up here, the green band, probably not advisable.
No,
something that's probably even a little big, but anything under that would be pretty good. I'm going to squeeze out to that squat width with the band. I'm going to sit that into that front rack position. I'm going to squat and I'm going to press up and overhead. Re-rack, squat, press, squat, press. If you make them hit your elbows and on the side, it sounds a little bit like Jake the Pig and his board. Anyway. Banded thruster and then into our plank with shoulder taps. That plank with shoulder taps, sorry, that is 60 seconds. 60 seconds. So those plank with shoulder taps, again, we talk about somewhere between 25 to 30 reps. So there, I'm loading one side, tap, 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 for 60 seconds off. So you'll be 3 minutes there and across those 3 rounds. Alrighty? Run through that 3 times, then we'll take a little break and get into that 2-minute dead bug. Dead bug position. Guys should be getting fairly familiar with that home base position, and from there you can start creating whatever movements you feel like you need to make while maintaining hips up off the ground.
I put a good picture up of Daz doing an epic dead bug.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
He was doing his dead bug crunches.
That's a really flipping good.
Hashtag no filter days.
Yeah, no filter Daz. That's a very good dead bug. That.
Thruster, short and heavy. So heavy means if you've got dumbbells, a couple of dumbbells, you know, heavy would be 22 kilo dumbbells, 2 of, that's chunky, that's a big weight. That's probably equivalent if I've got a barbell. And we encourage you guys to use those barbells if you've got them. I think there's about 25 barbells out there out of our 150 plus members. There's a lucky 25 that have got those barbells with you. So if you've got that as an RX number, would be around 60 kilos.
Yes.
So it's a pretty chunky weight.
It's chunky.
But that'll get you through that workout. It's not going to be super fast, but still short and heavy. Short enough means under sub 10 to 12 minutes there.
Yeah.
So thruster, I'll grab a dumbbell. Oh, I've only got the 22, I'll go the single. So the single here, single dumbbell thruster. Again, I'm going to squat, press up and overhead. Re-rack, you've got to control these things a little bit. Squat, press, squat, press, 21 of. Obviously I've got 2, squat, press, and so on. 44 kilos with those 2 dumbbells. That's a chunky weight.
That's very chunky.
That'll destroy you for the day, which will be it'll be one hell of a day at that weight. Obviously, bring those weights down for scaling. Your masters and scaled weights would look somewhere in that 40 kilo for male masters and scaled, 30 kilos female males and, on a barbell. If you're on those dumbbells, you're probably looking at maybe 12 kilos and 9 kilos respectively. But just get done what you can. Single dumbbell, double dumbbell, and onwards. So 21 thrusters to start, 400 meter run hard. 15 thrusters, 400, 9 thrusters, 400, done for time.
Awesome.
Alrighty, from there, we're gonna go part 2. We're gonna go into those dead bug crunches. You're gonna do 100 reps of dead bug crunches.
You
We're gonna try and do them as an unbroken set. My youngest son taught me how to count to 100 really quickly before, so I'll do 100 now. So you go 1, 2, miss a few, 99, 100. There you go. Woo! If anyone can beat that time, good job. Happy days.
I like that.
And from there, we're going to go into around about a 12-minute ROM-WOD. If you're with Coach Rich on Zoom, do around about that 10. There'll be around about 10 to 12 minutes at the end of the session that you'll be able to run through a bit of a ROM-WOD with
awesome.
them. Otherwise, everybody spend a good 10 to 12 minutes stretching out, hamstrings, quads. Spend a bit of time in that saddle position, sitting on top of those knees if you can. Happy days?
Yeah,
Cool.
boy.
Hope you're all enjoying. Alrighty.
What do you say?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.